Welcome back. Welcome back. This is still BTEC AAQ IT Unit 3 Website Development. And this is going to be Assignment C, Mastering Website Testing. So this is going to be the section where you test everything that you've done so far. Please keep in mind, my website is not finished, but I'm still going to go over all the tests that you might need to do to get yourself a distinction. To get a distinction, you must comprehensively meet all the client's requirements. And again, the client's requirements come from the specification you were given by the client. So that's the document where they told you, I wanted this many pages. I want the website to be about this. I want to be this color. I want a logo. So you have to use professional tools to ensure your site is perfect or as close to perfect as possible. You should document every single test that you run. I've created a test plan that you guys can use. I'll be uploading this to the website as well. So feel free to go ahead and download it. You must edit this test plan. Do not simply download the test plan and use it as it is, because your website is going to be vastly different from what my website was like. So you must go in and change as many things as possible to suit your website. The test plan is a skeleton test plan where you have to make changes. I cannot stress this enough. I'm going to be going over the top 10 things or the top 10 actions you need to do to make sure that you every single thing testing wise done so you can get the top grade. So you need to test every single function of your website carefully. Fix all broken links and missing media files. Ensure your layout matches the client brief exactly. So if your client wanted a website that's responsive, and again, responsive means it works on mobile, tablet, and desktop, ensure that your design is responsive. Keep your code clean and properly indented. Indentation is not a major issue with HTML, but some examiners might want to see this. Check your layout on multiple screen sizes. That's what I just mentioned before, it being responsive. You need to validate HTML and CSS for any hidden errors. So simply, you could feed it into some AI, you could feed it into W3C and actually have it check what you've done to see if it's correct. Include working interactive JavaScript features and document all user testing results very clearly. It can be user testing results or just your testing results as well. Resolve every layout bug you find in development. And here we have the actionable tools and techniques. Very simple checklist. And again, I will provide you guys with a test plan. This test plan is going to be a Word document on the website that you can download and edit. You must edit it. I will keep stressing, do not use it exactly how I've given it to you, and please make changes. The first one you're going to want to do is Google Lighthouse Audits. You can find this on the Google Chrome browser. So open Chrome, right click, select inspect, then Lighthouse, and it's going to give you some information that you can use. I would recommend screenshotting whatever you get, whether it's good or bad. Still screenshot it, put it into your work, and if there are things that you can do to fix it or make it better later on, you fix it, make it better, and then you screenshot afterwards as well, saying before, after, and these are the things I did to improve it. This is one I was talking about earlier, W3C. I can never say this properly. W3C Code Validators. So you basically upload your file, it checks the syntax, and this is kind of going to be like what we can get Google Gemini and ChatGPT to do now, but this is like an official, well-known way to do it. Dreamweaver breakpoints. I think I showed this in one of my videos where I made the screen size smaller, or I made the window smaller so it would mimic being on a mobile. Then I made it slightly bigger for a tablet. Then I made it wider for a desktop as well. That's exactly what this is. Screenshot at each screen size, showing if something doesn't work properly, doesn't move to the right place. All of these are tests that you can do. This is one of the accessibility audits that you can do. There are many of them out there, but this is one that's like really well known. So you install this on, again, this will probably only work on Chrome and Microsoft Edge because those are Chromium based browsers. And when you do this, again, whatever it says, whether it's good or bad, you screenshot it, put it into your work. It doesn't matter if it's bad, because the whole point of this is to go back and make changes where necessary. You could use a W3C Link Checker tool as well. It quickly crawls every button and every link on your website or on your HTML file, and it's going to check if every single button goes to a web page. This would only relate to external links, so links that link to other websites, for example, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, any external links. If on your website or on your HTML file, you're trying to link your gaming button to the gaming website, it's not going to really work great for that because that's an internal link and that website doesn't exist on the internet anywhere, but it's still a good thing to do. This is going to be really good if you have external links, so you don't have to go and click every single link to see if it works. This will do it for you. For your internal links, I would recommend you doing it yourself. It doesn't have to be an automated process. You can do one click at a time. For example, you go onto the home page, you screenshot clicking on the home button, you screenshot clicking on, for me, it's going to be games, movies, TV shows, and anime. I screenshot clicking on every single button. If the page does work when I click on it, I can screenshot saying all these buttons work on the home page. Do exactly the same thing for the movies page, exactly the same thing for the games page, and keep going and going and going and going. It's the same thing. It doesn't have to be automated. You're going to want to have a functional testing matrices. This is kind of what I've created with the test plan. So you essentially build a checklist and you visualize your evidence. So screenshots are your best friend, as I've always said. You verify your scripts, prove your carousels work, prove the forums work, prove that the buttons work. Again, this is all going to be in the test plan I give you. Please make changes to the test plan. One of the most important tests you're going to want to do is cross browser check-in. So most of us on Android probably just use Chrome. Most people on Apple would probably just just use Safari, but you're going to need to check your website on different browsers. And again, Chrome, Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge are exactly the same code base, meaning Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge use the Chromium code base. Testing on these two is good, but you're going to need to test on other browsers as well. So what I would do is on a mobile phone, you can put your files on your mobile phone and it should work fine. I don't know how to do this for Apple, but for Android, it's just dragging the files over like a memory stick. Test on Chrome, test on Edge, test on Firefox, and test on some other random browser. This is comprehensively testing. If you have a tablet, you do exactly the same thing. If you're on a Windows PC, again, you test 3 or 4 browsers, you're good to go. Most people don't have Windows and Mac, but if you can get hold of a Mac laptop or a Windows laptop or a desktop, then it would be good to test on multiple operating systems as well. User acceptance testing. Let a peer or classmate test your live website. You can give the user the same test plan that you're using, but I think that might be a bit confusing for each person unless they do the same course that you do, or give them an opportunity to fill in comments. For example, you give them a Word document, say just write anything on here. You would then have to go through it, analyze it, and see what they were talking about. So they might simply say something like, the gaming button on the homepage doesn't work. Nice and simple, keep it short so you can go in and fix each thing. This is to help you identify bugs and any slowdowns that you might have missed. I try to make all the images on my website JPEG where possible, because JPEG is going to be smaller, PNG where possible if you need to have a transparent background. Your error login table could just be a spreadsheet or a Word document again, just making a bullet pointed list of everything that you've noticed, everything that your peers have noticed, every single issue you come across. So when you get to the very end and you need to fix everything at once, you can essentially go through and have a checklist. Okay, yeah, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that in the next section. I'll be faking my results because everything works fine for me. But if everything doesn't work fine for you, that's great, because you're going to get to show how to fix certain things. You're going to get to show that people commented that this was broken, you fixed it, and then you proved how you fixed it. And again, going back to the client brief, every single thing you have on your website needs to link back to the client brief. So if they wanted specific fonts, use that font. If they wanted 3 pages, give them 3 pages. If they wanted a form on the homepage, give them a form on the homepage. Whatever they wanted is what you need to provide. If you guys have any questions that you want me to answer, put them in the comment section below and I will be sure to go through and answer every single one. In any case, thanks for watching, like and subscribe. More content incoming.